Hello and welcome to another episode of Isku Talks. And this episode is going to be a little bit different, something that I'm usually not doing. So I'm making a video based on another video that was released just a couple of days ago on a different YouTube channel. And the link to original video is going to be in a video description down below. A big thank you to author of this video, and I would like you to go and show your support. Also, for that reason, I'm not going to be showing you full video. Full video is almost 20 minutes. So if you want to get more info, go there, turn on subtitles, and you might understand more. I don't understand any Russian, but it's just kind of like my opinion based on what I can see, based on the video clips without any audio at all. So far we have like 5, 6, 7 websites that are already showing prices around 950 euros. So I'm quite sure that's going to be a price, but I should have in a couple of weeks time, I should have actually confirmed prices. So if you still haven't, maybe consider subscribing, because whenever I get any news, I make a video and publish it straight away, or I put any news in a community tab or in the video descriptions as well. So yeah, mechanical brakes with both active pistons, quite nice ground clearance. Not sure about the mudguard. Here we see a charging port for external charger, and that's going to be a mounting point for external battery as well. And in the video, it's revealed price of the external battery around $250 or $300, so like 1/3 of the price of a scooter. Here is the charging port for the built-in charger, so-called Mickey Mouse plug. And yeah, scooter just looks super interesting, but it's not all that perfect. I do have some concerns. So bearings obviously have a seal, like a brilliant thing, because if the bearing fails, the water can get inside of the motor, but thanks to that seal, it won't be able to get in there. We have a reusable silicone caps on the cables. I like that as well. It makes repairs much better. And here we're going to the opening a battery compartment to check inside, and here we can actually see one really interesting thing. So it's going to have holes on the bottom in case there is some water, so that we don't get a swimming pool that I saw on a couple of scooters so far. So the water is going to be able to come back out. It could have been done a little bit better. I do have an idea how I would do that a little bit better, but it is a good idea. When we are looking inside regarding the cable management and everything, it's not super nice and tidy. It's not like on InMotion L9, for example, but it's also not as bad as on Kuga M4, for example. My a little bit of a concern is, like, even that connectors look really nice, but they're still going to be kind of exposed to moisture and maybe some water that, as I said, could get inside through those holes. But they do have still some wrapping around, they are protected in some way. So that's pretty nice. There's a bracket to hold the battery in place. Battery is 48 volts, 12.5 amp hours, and it's in a plastic enclosure that looks really well made. I saw batteries on the Ninebot MAX G3 and Ninebot MAX G2, and they are done really well. This looks like a pretty massive controller, honestly. Like, this is one controller that's much bigger than that we've seen on most of the budget commuter scooters, Ninebot MAX G3 or Ninebot MAX G2 so far, and I can't wait to see it in person myself. But it looks nice and tidy, connectors and everything kind of properly closed. This is a built-in charger. That built-in charger looks much bigger than on previous scooters from Ninebot MAX series. He's going here through some details regarding the built-in charger. So it's going to be 3.9 amps maximum charging current, and 56 point something volts, if I remember correctly. I actually can't see that. I'm looking at a really really tiny screen while I'm recording this. And hopefully there's not going to be problems with that, like there were problems with the built-in charger on the Ninebot MAX G2. And here he is now showing one absolutely brilliant thing that they did. Absolutely perfect, spot on. Well, not absolutely perfect. Okay, there is one thing that, again, I would do it maybe a little bit better, but check this out. Bam. Ta-da. So you have like, what, 5 screws that are actually, yeah, you have 5 screws that are actually holding rim to the motor. Okay, and it's brilliant. So you have a puncture, you need to fix a puncture, you loosen those 2 nuts, take off wheel, loosen those 5 bolts, take off the rim, and you can change that tubeless tire that can be a bit hard to replace without risking damaging a motor cable or damaging, bending or damaging a disc. That's brilliant. Now, my concern here a little bit is that if I was doing it, I would do some, like, canals or grooves, so that when you put a rim on the motor, it's already locked in place and it can't move. And then those bolts are just keeping it in place so that it doesn't go loose. Because that's going to be quite powerful and torquey motor. So, like, I'm not doubting Ninebot Segway build quality, but I'm really hoping that they're going to be strong enough to hold that stress over a time. Or maybe in the user manual, it's going to be there, some advice to replace those bolts every, I don't know how many kilometers or months or whatever. But like overall, honestly, absolutely brilliant idea. It could have been done maybe a little bit better, or I'm maybe, I don't know, taking that too seriously and trying to improve something that doesn't need improvement. I know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Here we have a display. If I manage to understand, it's held by, like, 7 screws. It looks nice. It looks not that kind of a simple PCB board with small display on. This looks like a little bit more work. We see some of that liquid silicone there that I'm not too happy to see, because taking that apart is going to be interesting. And here actually I was looking like, why you're locking scooter to your leg, but here he's actually pointing at some screws, and that might be maybe that he's pointing out, okay, yeah, you have your scooter locked, but you just loosen those 2 screws and that ring is gone. So yeah, then in that case scenario, it's maybe not the best engineering solution. I actually thought that that's going to be part of the whole front fork assembly or something like that. Headlight, okay, it's going to be adjustable, a little bit adjustable, not too much. Brilliant, like nice attention to detail to give you a bit of a flexibility. Indicators, and yeah, US version is going to have these LED underlights that are going to work as indicators as well when you turn on indicators. So yeah, like overall, still looks brilliant. It could have been done better. There are ways to improve it, but of course, once scooter comes out, once we start using scooters, we'll see will there be any problems with it or not. Front fork is definitely improved. I'm quite sure there is not going to be problems like on Ninebot MAX G2 that I actually made a video already about it, and I'm checking my 5 Ninebot MAX's G2 that came, and I'm checking front fork on all 5 of them. Checked 2 so far, both have a play, of course. One has a little bit of a play, another one's much worse. So, and yeah, I'll be checking other 3 as well, but that's topic for another video. Anyways, scooter looks brilliant, so no need to extend this video for way too long. Anyways, guys, if you want to know all the news about the Ninebot MAX G3, I'm every day looking at what's new. Every day I'm gathering all the new info. And if there is any news, so there's my Facebook group where I'm posting all the news, community tab. And if there is enough material to make a video, well, yeah, of course, I'm looking into making video and releasing those videos immediately. Also, if you want to support my work, As I said, consider subscribing, like, share, leave a comment down below, help algorithm boost those videos, my content. And also you can join my channel to get early access to some videos for only like €2 a month, or you can maybe buy me a coffee. So yeah, that's going to be all for this time. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, please stay safe out there and respect other road users. Bye bye.